Hey everyone, welcome to the Daily Color. We are on episode 98. Today I am spending one extra day on the three fish. I am going to finish the top fish using one technique that is pretty common, I think. And then the second fish I will be doing a hybrid technique, sort of something I made up on my own. I'm going to see what I think of the differences between the two. And the third fish, I have decided I will do just minimal because its flowers don't lend themselves to what I want to do to the first two fish. So this will be interesting because I am sitting in the recliner, and it might be that I will want to be sitting straight up looking over them. So we're going to give this a try. And if I don't feel I can be successful at it, I will go set everything up on the desk. Right now I am shaking my white acrylic marker. So this is something that I do use. It is not something that I have filmed yet. I did look at some videos to see if there was anything new under the sun, new and different, that I could incorporate, but for now I think I'm just going with the basic sort of how I would decorate like a card front. So let's see how well I can do. I do not have my glasses, so we will see. Will probably be quiet because I have to focus. Like I said, this isn't my comfort zone, sitting like this to do embellishing. I use the Arrtx. Here's what they look like. I bought a 5-pack of them, all white. I have the metallics. I also have the full color set, all in the 0.7, the small nib. All right, so that was okay. I'm toying this flower up in the upper right corner is different, so I am not going to pursue doing that flower.
GPS signal lost.
Oh, and my phone is trying to take me somewhere, so let me pause for a moment, fix that so she doesn't talk to us. These flowers need to dry. This gives them a second to dry, and then I will keep continuing on to the rest of my embellishing. All right, we are back, and now I'm going to do some dotting. So that is all that I'm going to do for that fish. Pretty standard. The second one is the technique that I've been wanting to try. It's not something I've seen a lot of. I don't even know if I've seen it used on coloring pages. I do use it for nature drawings and animal portraits. So using the Museum Aquarelle White, which is 3510.001. It is called white. I use what's called an acrylic block that you put rubber stamps on. You can use a piece of Teflon, a lid, anything you want. And you're going to see on this acrylic block some scribbles. Those scribbles are leftovers from dried museum aquarelle from this tip. And I use a Stampin' Up, which is the brand that I am a demonstrator for, Mister. I get my acrylic block wet. I wet my tip, and then I apply it. So let's just see how this goes. I consider the first fish is just the warm-up, doing a pretty standard decorating technique. And now here I am. This is where it might get to be that I want to be staring very closely. So I have wet the tip. And I am going to carefully apply this wet white. It's a watercolor pencil. So it's not like Inktense that's going to dry permanent. I am doing a sort of a hybrid painterly finish to this page. And the painterly finish is only going to be applied to the purple flowers. Let's make sure you can see what I am doing here. I do not have, oh I do. I was thinking that I might need to sharpen this, but we will see. All right, we have successfully minimized all of the black around the purple flowers. And now I want to do some additional colored pencil finishes. This one might not be as minimized as I would like it to be. All right. Okay, now let's see if I put this within reach. So the second fish is Arrtx, and I'm rotating my Lazy Susan around. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make these somewhat pansy-esque with some added little lines. And I am also trying to add some shadow lines, like on the edges of the petals. Alrighty. So far, so good. And then the final bit of work on these flowers is a little bit of blue shadows on the blue backgrounds. So here, just to give you a reference, here's the more traditional white outlining that gives it like a cartoony type of a finish, and then this is a more painterly finish that I am trying for something a little different. And my next color I need is the dark blue. Let's see if I can find it without. All right, we have indigo. So it's not quite as sharp as maybe I would like. All right, next. I'm gonna grab the light lavender. I have to see if this is the lightest one. Because we used the pencil, I can nicely apply some white colored pencil once that's dry. So it's now dry. So I can go back in and darken it back up on the petal and just have the little highlights showing. I have a little bit of a too much white there, but I have the blues. I'm liking that. I am so glad I didn't ruin it. Okay, so now, because I did not change the bottom fish, and I will put artwork. Here's the bottom fish that has these weird, it's like a pom-pom flower rather than a distinct petal flower. So I'm not thinking that will be easy to outline. So I'm going to continue on because I also have, oh, do I have my yellow? Yes. So I have yellow glaze that I want to put on these centers. I want to put the glaze on this fish's floral centers, even the odd man out up top. Okay. So that is almost 100% complete. Now the next interesting treatment is there's this navy blue glaze, and I want to do this line. Oh, let's see if I get that primed. I am then going to I told you that this looks like a bit of a steampunk metal fish to me. I'm not sure if I'm going to like that. I think that's going to be the closest we can get. Next, we do have an orange glaze. I guess it's kind of a cinnamon color. And I want to probably avoid connecting next to the blue where that glaze dries. So I'm going to work on all of these dots. I might need to move up here. I have a dot to put right here. Oh, not finished. I think for the moment I have to let that dry. I don't dare do any more to it. I can work on the bottom fish because the bottom fish is going to have some minimal glazing without anything crazy. So let's let the upper two fish dry. So this is going to be a more typical I'm going to do the blue. The blue is going to go on the white, just like the upper. Clean this off. Okay. I am not very relaxed doing this. I feel I hold my breath. I'm worried about ruining it. And then I have to tell myself this is about the journey, not necessarily the finished part. Okay. I also brought, let's see which I did. I have 2 silver metallic pens. I'm going to look at this one. Okay. So this is going to be, I probably don't want to do that because it's too, I'm going to put silver on a couple of random scales under his chin. So I will come back and do that. The yellow is right here, and I am going to do the yellow to all of the flowers. Okay, I think I got all the yellow. Oh yes, and you'll see the little black dots. Here is what I am going to do. This is more like a wash. It's not a very strong silver. This is the Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll Metallic. Not perfect. Okay. And I did make copies. Coming up with these finishing ideas, I took copies of the colored fish and I tried some different treatments, and from those tests I picked what I would share with you guys. All right, so the only thing left, I am going to the next one I want to do, the scale, is the one right next to the blue, so I won't do that yet. Okay. Phew. Don't know how long that took. 20 minutes this time around. Okay, and again, I will have photography. The only thing on this fish I'm not totally satisfied with is the blue chin and what I chose to do there. What I do have is a possibility, if that is dry. I'm not sure it is dry. I have 2 more tones of the glaze, a middle blue and a light blue. So I will, off to the side, play with these and decide if alternating between the dark blue, either the middle or the light, will help make that more than what I would like it to be. I have also a cinnamon. The white line around the flower is going to be the cinnamony color or amber color. Can't do that till I know all of that is dry. So I think I'm going to pause. I'm going to let it dry completely, because this is my growing, is me practicing doing these things while filming. And so I will come back and add those last tidbits once I know the fish are dry. I will also go get the stickle. I said that I was going to stickle the bubbles. Each fish has a set of bubbles. So I will go pick which I will do, and I'll also bring you my swatches so you can see. Here's what the fish texture looks like. This fish texture isn't quite as interesting, but I do like it as an alternative. It's a nice look. And then this fish is going to be its own fun thing. All right, so I will be back in a bit after everything dries to put the finishing touches on. All right, I am back. Everything is dry. We have a couple of last little touch-ups to do, and then we'll talk about the water bubbles. All right, so I have the amber colored glaze. And that goes here. I have the chin of this fish. I am going to try the lightest blue glaze. I do think I like that better. Silver. I have one tiny fish scale. This one. I was contemplating, no, I'm not going to do it. I was contemplating for this adding the cinnamon to this larger, but I'm afraid that it might not look even. So I'm going to leave that fish as it is. And then let's talk really quickly. Oh, did I not bring it? Okay, so I have 5 different colors of Stickles that are the clear. Of the 5, these are the ones that this is the one because it has blue and green. It's called Twinkle. And my other alternative is called Waterfall, and I believe that Waterfall will match better. And I have always stored my Stickles upside down in a totally Tiffany case that is shaped for them. It is called the Teresa bag. I highly recommend it. I went with soft storage in our trailer for traveling so that it's easier for me to stuff things into. Most of my cabinetry was tall, skinny, deep shelving. So it's a waste of space if you're putting it in squares. So I did all soft Teresa storage, and it comes in all different sizes and shapes, and it worked perfectly for many years and still works great for me today. All right, so I have to remember, I'm rotating because I have already put some wet on the front of this fish and on the front of this fish. So I am going to start up at the very top here, and I'm opting to not use any color. It will be just Stickles. I was thinking of doing the clear crystal, I believe it was. No, Twinkle. And then I remembered I had bought Waterfall to be water embellishing. I am not sure how much these will flatten out, but I love the color. The fact that it has that blue watercolor to go with my blue fish is exactly what I had in mind. And now my page is completely done. Whew. And I survived, and I thought that using the museum aquarelle, which is the only aquarelle, the Caran d'Ache version that I own. I do have Arrtx and Inktense as well, and the Distress Inks colored pencils. They're woodless. But I think that the painterly look on those purple flowers is a nice touch, not too much. And I do like it better than the somewhat, what I would consider, this is my card look that I would do for a card front. This would be a more finished painterly look, and then this is yet another option that doesn't go too crazy. The final thing I could do, but on my mock-ups, which I will go ahead and take pictures of both of those as well to put at the end in the showcase so you guys can see how my thought process works. I did black glaze, colored the pupil, or the glint in the pupil. So colored the pupil, including the white, and then added my own white, and it was not a big success because my white I chose was not a small enough nib. I used the Artistro white. Artistro, not to be confused with Artisto. I was confused. I thought they were the same company. They are not. So I will get some photography done after all this is dry, and that will conclude episode 98. Tomorrow is going to be the start of the houses. It will be the Brute Funer. I have the macarons. I have the 120 squares. I don't want to do the 520 on the houses. I want to save those for the flowers on the next page. So if I do one row of houses, I will look at my list and see if I want to try tossing in, I think the Castle Arts are next. I am working on them, and I do need another project, finished project for them. The Castle Arts already did a full page project, the moths, so it would not be bad to get another couple of houses done. Then I would be finished with my coloring projects for the detailed walkthrough. So I think that that makes sense. So that's probably what I will do. So that completes today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing me struggle and be stressed about doing finishing touches, and the fact that I did the 3 fish 3 different ways, just to show you guys some different ideas and options for them. So do all the YouTube things, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will meet you all back here tomorrow, and we will color some houses.